everybody. If you clicked on this link, you want to know more about the Versaclimber. This is a machine that we've had in the gym for many, many years. It's a machine that's slightly underutilized, partly because, I don't know, it looks scary. It's kind of challenging. And right out of the gate, there's a few pieces you need to kind of know before you even get on this thing. And I understand why it's underutilized. The nice thing is it's always available. So I don't know, maybe after this video, it won't be as available anymore. We'll see. Anyways, Versaclimber, excellent machine. We have in the gym, good for, I'm going to say, nearly everybody, from low intensity, high intensity, some knee, hip, ankle dysfunction people, and or like elite athlete type people. Really good machine. I just want to show you a couple things and how to get on it, how to set it up so you know what to do. Okay. So first off, in all likelihood, when you get to the machine, one of the pedals will be at the bottom. Okay. If they aren't, you simply put your foot on a pedal, gently put it to the bottom, and then raise up onto it. Grab the handles. Okay. And then I would say, once you're here, get yourself to a point where your feet are level. Okay. Now you're comfortable. All right. That's step number one. Step number two, these handles that my hands go on have 4 adjustment points. The machine is designed for relatively tall people. So if you're shorter, you're going to find that this doesn't fit you very well. There's ways to make it work, but it's kind of made for a tall person. So this handle is adjustable. There's a button on the outside of the handle that I press, remove the handle, and then I select the hole that I want it to go in. Okay, so I'll just show you. There's just a little button on the back of this handle. Press, slide out, reposition. Okay, so now I'm 5'10". I will typically put this in. So if I go 1 is the bottom, 2, 3, 4, I'll go in the 3rd or the 2nd hole. Something good to know is lower works for everybody, higher doesn't work for everybody. So go lower if in doubt. Here's the thing. Now with the handle in that position, when I take a step, my foot goes down, my other arm goes up. And if I'm taking big steps and that handle's in the top hole, my arm's going to be stretched out and uncomfortable on my shoulder. Okay, that's it. So that's the adjustment there. Okay, so that's how you kind of set it up for yourself. All right. And now I want to show you kind of, I guess maybe this is the 3rd relatively important thing. There's a funny little knob here that we all want to know what to do. Okay, so let me show you to it. Did I say that right? Let me show it to you. All right, so the button, it's actually labeled step slower or step faster. And that doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways, this is it. Okay, so there's an arrow that says step faster or step slower. That is not how I interpret the use of this button. Okay, and I'll explain exactly how we want to interpret it. And it's important that you adjust it for yourself. Okay, because if it's not right for you, you are not going to be very happy with what your experience is. So basically the resistance comes from oil being pushed through a little orifice. Okay, and that button adjusts the size of the hole. So now it determines, like, it'll make it easier or harder. Now it's not like a bike gear setting or a rower setting. It's not really about easier or harder. The whole thing is hard. You'll find that out when you start it. If I crank this, which would be to the slower, so it just doesn't move very fast at all. Okay, it's like my legs are stuck in wet concrete. I don't like that. That's not going to make me happy. Now, if I go the other way, so-called the faster or easier setting, when I go to step, it's going to feel like my feet actually fall out from underneath me. So I guess technically it's easier, but it's actually relatively unstable. I don't like that. So what I use this button for is to find the position and the resistance that supports me, but isn't too hard. And so I'll just find the sweet spot that I like the most, or hate the least, whatever you want to think about it. Okay, and that's my setting. Okay, so play with that to make yourself as happy as possible. Okay. Now the computer has a little bit of information. Some of it's wildly useful. If I turn it on, top left, I see there's the clock. When I start moving, the clock starts. When I stop moving, the clock stops. top right, and what I'm telling you here is all written on a chart, so you can just read it. Top right is feet per minute. That shows my speed as I'm climbing. Okay. And then bottom left shows me how many feet I've climbed. So if I'm, I don't know, testing myself or challenging myself, day one, I go for 3 minutes and I climb 150 feet. Well, maybe on 2 weeks from now, I can do 200 feet in that same time frame. Anyways, that's all the computer's telling you. Okay. All right. What do you do when you're on here? I would encourage you to take little steps, because little steps are easier. Medium steps are harder. Bigger steps are even harder. Okay. So if you're trying to encourage yourself to, be brave and use this, do so accordingly. All right. So that's important to figure out. Now, what else I want to tell you? Your feet on the pedals. Oh yeah. As I take this big step all the way down, what I want you to be careful of is to not get the step to hit the bottom. So those big steps are really challenging for you. But if you take that step and go all the way to the bottom till it clunks, and then again till it clunks, you'll break the step off. So don't do that. Be aware of that. Okay. All right. One more thing, super important. The pedal itself, it just wiggles back and forth like a pedal on a bike. Okay. It's got a strap on it with a Velcro thing on it. You don't need to adjust it. Your foot doesn't have to be tied onto the pedal. It's not going anywhere. But for people with different knee issues or hip issues or different goals that they're shooting for, what I really like about this machine is if you just change the position of your foot on the pedal a little bit, front to back, it changes what it's hitting for you. Okay. If I take my foot and slide it a little bit further back, just by a couple millimeters, I'm going to feel this in my quads a lot more and my knees. Not that that's necessarily desirable, but that's where you're going to feel it. If I take my foot and slide it a little more forward, maybe just a centimeter, I'm going to feel the pressure more in my glutes, and it's going to take the pressure off of my knees. So for a lot of us out there with somewhat challenged knee joints, I'm going to suggest when you start on this machine, slide your feet a little forward on the pedal. You're going to feel more load on your hips, which is good for you. Less on the knees, so save them, and I think you'll enjoy them. Okay. All right. The machine has a bit of a kind of a wiggliness to it. Get on the machine again. Gently put the pedal at the bottom. Lean into the machine. Grab the handles. Get yourself level. Turn the thing on if you want, and then start with your little strokes. Turn the knob to adjust the setting you like, and have fun. Okay. That is how the Versaclimber works. Get on it. Have fun.